Good morning everybody, and this is your SP 500 setups for today. So we're back from our travels, and looks like there was quite a decent move last week. I hope some of you got that. And for me at the moment, pretty simple. We are onwards and upwards. There is a zone of support just below us, which I will be targeting. And then the other thing is we are in a fairly strong bullish channel. Steps out of the channel every now and then, but nevertheless not a perfect science. I'd be waiting in this zone for an opportunity to buy into this. This was a strong move last week. I'm not sure what it was based on, but if you just have a look at the charts, I mean, moving averages are pointing up, everything's pointing up. Oscillators have eased off slightly. They haven't dropped below the 80 yet. And there is a little bit of support here, which we'll see on the lower time frames, but I'm not really too keen on chasing that. I think this zone to the downside here is the better one. We'll get to the exact levels now. When we drop down to the 3 hour, nothing really changes, except oscillators have separated, and that is looking like a fairly decent move coming. And if I just delete the noise, let's get rid of that and add more noise here, and you'll see we are forming what is looking like a flag. So quite a bit going on. I think the 3 hour is just a warning. You don't want to be sitting short at the moment. You'd be looking for an opportunity to buy into this right now. And when we drop down to the hour, you'll see the oscillators have eased off quite nicely into well, below the 20, so they've grouped quite nicely. Flat, so nothing really to read into it just yet. Concern is we do have a crossover of the moving averages at the moment. So for me, this diagonal here is fairly important. You can see we're playing with it right now. I'm going to leave that in for now. I'm going to take this top one out. That's not going to be too important. There is sorry, wrong one. There are other levels that we need to pay attention to. So there's a pin bar there, and there's a pin bar there. Okay, and you see the little bit of support that I was talking to is pretty much these three levels here. But I'm not going to pay too much attention to any of these levels here. I think this is the one that I'd want to see tagged. That is going to be a fairly strong area of support. You can see we've had a weekly high, and potentially what was looking like a double top not too long ago. So that is definitely something that will be tested, and something which I would want to be paying attention to. So what are the levels we're looking at? So firstly, the buying opportunities will be down at 50.50, nice round number as well, down to 50.45. So that is the zone that we have. That's the previous week's high, not the previous week before previous week's high. So that is going to be tested. It's something which you have to pay attention to. And obviously you don't want to be jumping in on a short here. The most logical thing is going to be, I just want to move this top level there. The most logical opportunity would be a rejection of 50.72 or 50.78, 50.81. That's the most logical thing. Moving up to 50.78, 50 sort of 80 area does break through the moving averages. So I'd watch that with a microscope, because I'm not so sure we're going to get a rejection there. This is probably the most logical one, 50.74, but bear in mind we do have this diagonal support here as well. It's going to take quite a bit to get through here. So the other way to trade this would be to wait for a break of this bottom that's been formed at the moment. Break, retest, then you have a short scalp down to 50.48. But this is the area I'm waiting to buy. So I'm actually not interested in this short. I don't think that's going to be something worth trading. This is what I'd be waiting for. So wait for 50.50. Probably just put a couple of contracts in here waiting for price to come down. Now remember, it is coming up to the end of the month, and you're going to have non-farm payrolls at the end of the month on Friday, or the beginning of the next month, so 1 March. So that's something you need to pay attention to. But for me, the warning bells are here. Don't sit here short expecting this thing to fall to the floor. If it does break through the structure that we're seeing here, then this zone is going to hold us up. And the 3 hour is just telling you to be very, very cautious. Any other moves to the upside would essentially be, I'd be looking at 50.74 to start with, get a base above that, sort of come back and test this for support. That would get you to the next level, which is going to be up here at 50.78, and then I would expect to move back down. So we also have this diagonal here, which is looking like it's breaking, and that's on the 15 minutes. So you can see there's my diagonal, fairly strong, 4 touches on it, and we've gone sort of broken above it after hours. So I'm very cautious to jump in short. I think you're better off looking for opportunities to buy. Might not be here. In other words, we might just drift sideways and not really give us an opportunity today, or it does get moving to the downside. And then there's always a quick scalp that you can jump in on a retest of 50.65. Drop down, retest that. That'll give you the confidence. Stop just above the current high of today, which is above 50.72, and you're aiming for 50.50. I would take profit at 50.50, and that would be the end of that move. But as I say, be very, very cautious, because the setup that you're seeing here at the moment with the diversions that's happening could very well just bounce up, come back, build a base, and then continue up to the upside. And it would probably just go and test the top of the wedge. So if you just bring the wedge back into play, just do that. So if we just do that, wedge, channel, whatever you want to do, but definitely you'll probably get rejection of 50.84, then build a base, and you're looking for a higher low. That's going to be the confirmation. Then I'd actually hold on to a bit longer than an intraday trade, probably 2 or 3 days for a break of this wedge. But this is looking fairly interesting. Lastly, let's just close off on the monthly, because that is quite important as well. And if you look at that monthly bar that we have, let's just get rid of the noise. That's a fairly solid monthly bar that is closing on its high, and you can actually just add the previous month's high on, which is at 49.46 or 49.50. So there's definitely merit to assume that this is going to continue. You're looking for opportunities to buy. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view for today. I hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.